All right, we're live, everybody. How you doing? Another week, another Monday night. As usual, we'll have to wait for a few guys to show up here. All right, somebody's on. We're gonna wait a few minutes for a few more. Who's here? Gonna get ready for a mid-year status report. I guess I should be fashionably late like a party because no one gets here on time, but that's okay. All right, we got two. All right, who's on? All right, we got three. Can you guys hear me? Let someone comment. Let me know. Um, Make sure my audio is here. Oh, the music's probably on. Okay. Yeah, I guess I gotta manually turn that off. Okay, it's off now. That's probably better now, huh? All right, Eric. Yeah, it's working. All right, how you doing? Good. Shannon, welcome. I haven't seen you on before. Glad you can make it out. We got is Brad out there? Uh, I threw out an invite. Sorry, it's a little late here. Still having scheduling difficulties trying to get some of these other guests here. Now that it's graduation time and summer trip time, and I even had grandkids are swimming tonight. It's getting all the summer activities are really kicking into gear with everybody. So I thought we'd get together today and start out with a chat about a mid-year report here. I know my season's in the tank, but a lot of people's seasons are in the tank or at the precipice of being there. I figured we could talk about that a little bit. And the Illini Division is most of the guys. We got some Kentucky Lake guys. We got some guys that fish Ozark too, if we wanted to jump around it. Anything you guys wanna hit or talk about today here? Um, I did finally get to the Shelbyville video. I dropped that one with Ethan Fields last week. Um, some decent fish catches. We were bouncing around the lake a lot of time around Lithia in the beginning of the day. And then a little later on, we ran a little bit almost to mid lake or so. Shannon, where are you from? What do you fish? If you fished any of the tournaments around here. Um, Also, a little update for the channel. I did finally get to make a road trip. I had to get my license plate sticker. I forgot I was out here. I went to Lake Sarah on Saturday. I checked it out before I left, and on the state, lakes, it didn't show any tournaments there this weekend. But I get there, and the parking lot is full. It was a USA Bass in number three. So I kind of looked at that one. Um, in their first tournament, it took 25 pounds to win, and then 19 pounds and like 14. In the second tournament of the year, lowest winning weight ever, 9.3 pound, 32 pounds, five fish. And I didn't see it until I left when I saw the tournament director there, Matt Haney. He was doing, he does Shelbyville too, I believe. I fished a couple of those a few years ago. And there's a slot limit on that lake. So it's 12 to 15, and you can't possess 15 to 18. So it's a bunch of smalls, and maybe one big is, it looks to be, or a bunch of smalls, even if you get that far. Oh, Table Rock. Yeah, I had a Table Rock video out. I went down there, hopped in an MLF BFL a little while ago. That was pretty cool. I love that lake. I haven't been down there in a few years. I'd love to live down there. Randy was just complaining it's not fishing as well as it used to. Well, none of these lakes seem to be either here this year. Hey, Brad, are you on? Who else is on? Brad? Brad there? Brad said he hopped in the Dale Hollow and he's got some news on that tournament too. I was hoping he was going to jump in. Now we got five guys. Um, I got an open hot seat or two if anyone wants to jump online here. First two people to put your email in the link here, I'll invite you on. Well, we're starting that one. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how did that get so squashed? Let's see if you can see that. Okay, maybe that's a little too big. Um, Illini Division after two tournaments. Travis Bowley, first place, 487. Tried with Bobby McMullen. He's like 80. He's been doing this for like 30 years. He did well in the first two tournaments, and these guys caught fish at Ren in that first tournament too. Travis Bowley won that one. Um, did McMullen win the last one? I believe, yeah. Patrick Odell is up there. James has been talking about trying to get an invite to him or Wayne Odell. Riley, he's been up there for a year. Andrew, I know him. He's a great guy. Greg, I don't know him. Don't know him. Yeah, he's always in the top 10. Our buddy Tim here is in the top 10, 461. Cecil, I met him down at Ren Lake here. Don't know these next guys. Here's Larry. Hey, Larry, holding your own here. Just below the cut line of the 400 point people here. You can make that up. Mike, I fished with him at Ren Lake. He got swamped there too. Got a few at Shelbyville here. Brendan McCord all the way down at 246. That's hard to believe. Ethan Fields, man, he's fishing the Bassmaster Opens. Jeremy's always up there. Chad's always up there. Colby's always up there. Bill Walker, I fished with him a few years ago. He's really good. John Wright's a hammer, been doing it forever. Jerry Dom, he's always up there. And then we get to the Jason Jacobs. He was in up for AOI last year. And then there's some hammers down here in participation points. Jeffrey Lee is always leading. Davis is up there. My buddy Jerry. Wayne's usually up there. Gary McDowell. Hard to believe. This guy's been top 10 AOI, for years. And then Neil McCord even down here too. Pretty crazy. Let's look at the co-angler side. We got Matt. Thomas Duke, he lives in Pana. I just saw a video from him the other day from my lake. Hey, Thomas, if you're out there, hey, look me up here. Bobby McNeil, Aaron, Elmo, Brad's leading the pack for our crew here, 264. He's doing really well. Brian Davis, I met him. He's tied with him right there. Hayden Swaden's right behind him too. He's been fishing a Toyota series as well. A shout out to him. He crushed it the first day last year. There's Dan Brown. Amanda, great to see ladies up here. As we work our way down here, there's Kim. We had her on a little while ago. These guys are usually up at the top here. Not quite there. Ross is, Troy is. And then there's the rest of us with our participation points. Gary's a hammer. He's always on. Ted Kane's always up there. Balding's always up there. Eric's a hammer. We know Eric. Jojo, he's usually in the top 5 here. Dale Renth is a top 5. So a lot of people are having trouble this year. So it's just a weird year all across the way here. I'm not sure what you guys are thinking about that, but wow. I can see why Ren Lake, it was crazy early this year. The water was record high. It was like 33 degrees at takeoff. So, you know, I can see how that one was really tough, and Ren can fish tough anyway. But Shelbyville fish tough as well here. And I've been out there a couple of times and it's been really tough. I was out there 2 Saturdays ago, about the fourth cast on a shatter bait. I shook off a 4 pounder and then I only got two shorts the rest of the day, hitting my high profile areas. I don't know what's going on with that. So, um, we got 2 weeks here before the next Shelbyville, um, event. Hopefully, it's going to warm up. I was going to go practice there this last weekend, and I'm glad I looked because the Illinois State High School Association tournament was there. They had Dam 9 completely blocked off. If you weren't part of the tournament, you couldn't even you couldn't even get in there. Another reason why I went down to Lake Sarah. I didn't see all of the weights. There were some good bags. I saw 6 pounds 2 ounces was the big bass of the tournament here, and congratulations and respect for all the people, all the boat captains, all the guys that support their kids and go the extra mile here to get them out on the lake and get them exposed early to the sport. That's just awesome. So, we get to Shelbyville here. It should be summer pattern. Um, I know that on my lake, it was really tough this weekend. I talked with a buddy of mine and a couple guys that are out there catching a bunch of dinks, and an occasional keeper. Fish are in a real funky mood. We had those thunderstorms again, and then the wind shifted out of the northeast for the weekend, and that's a recipe for success. But June in Shelbyville, it should be prime time to be out on the main lake, primary points. You know, um, they should be munching up. They got to be way past the spawn funk here. We'll have to see what the weather is going to be. It's a little bit out here, but it should be full summer patterns around the lake. It'll really tell if there's something funky going on with that lake or not. Not sure what you guys are thinking, what your thoughts are. Anybody follow that high school tournament here? Gonna run a report in on that? Or anybody, like I said, shoot me your email and I'll shoot you out an invite if you're there. Brad, you out there? Matt, you out there? Matt's never been on the show. Maybe Matt wants to jump in. Okay, while we're waiting for that, maybe we'll go back here. Maybe I can make that a little bigger so you guys could see. Uh, 2 ticks might be too much. Let's see. Let's see how LBL is doing. Dan Nolan, 494. He's Westfall, Brian, man, I haven't heard of these guys. Ethan Wheeler. I wonder if he's related to Jacob Wheeler. Just won stop 5 on the BPT. Sam Man. Nope, don't know these guys. David Workman, he used to fish Illini Division. There's Tin Horse. He's right up there doing pretty well. 453. He's only a handful of points back, 40 points back. Where's Brad? Marty Gorell. I wonder if he's related to Dale Gorell. I fished with him. Here's Brad, 398, holding his own here. Gage Alder, yeah, he fishes Illini tournaments and USA Basses. I don't know the rest of these guys. I wonder who's doing on the boater side. Let's see how the boater side is looking on Kentucky Lake this year. Levi Cole, yeah, I'm trying to get him on the show. he's a busy guy here. He said he would do it here, but his schedule's a little crazy. Clint Knight, of course. Uh, he was, I believe, in second place in the All American here just the other week here. Dowdy, Corn, Berger. Yep. Ryan. Yeah, typical guys, but some of the guys that you normally see up here aren't up here either. Bargy. Hey, cousin Brent. Billy. Yep. Val, he's usually up at the top. I don't see Jerry Hall and I don't see James Jones, but I think they're not doing great. Garrett's fishing down there. He's only got 247. So pretty tough all around, guys. Wonder how the Ozarks are doing. Let's take a quick look at the Ozarks. Boder, Alverson, Fitzpatrick, Roger Fitzpatrick. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're related. I know Roger's always up there. Ben McCord's out there. Wow, okay. John Jackson. Yep, that's who I fished with for that table rock. He's a really good angler. He did national circuit, before kids a long time ago. No. Good old Randy, 27. 601. Yeah. Don Simmons, I fished with him at the second day of the Toyota. Really good guy here. Glad to see him doing well. Tim Schneider, yeah, holding his own against the big boys over there. Sakura, all the way down here. I bet he didn't fish a tournament. Looks like he won one. And let's check on our co-angler buddies down there. 712, Spout Driver, Tate, Paul, Caleb Welch, yeah. Who? Jeff Moss, he's a hammer. Eric, man, 24. Way to go, buddy. 463. So you blanked probably one tournament, fished the other two, but you know what? Only the top 14 have caught on all three here. And then the next tier is a way down. They really spread out after that. Yeah, okay. Okay. Enough of that. So, what topics you guys want to hit today? What do you want to talk about? So, um, this weekend on my lake, I caught some shorts on a shaky head. That's what I had to downsize when I went to Sarah here. I didn't know what was going on or where to go. Um, the lake is pretty deep at 600 acres. Um, it was clean in areas, a little stained back in the coves. Um, Someone told me, hey, it's going to remind you of the Ozarks. There's a lot of really nice houses, really nice docks, and there's a bunch of big pleasure boaters, skiers, tubers. So about 10:30, there's 3 and 4 footers swells, and the wind was gusting up to 15, 22, to get things riled up on the main lake. No real definite point structures. It's just like little, four big coves and maybe a dozen smaller coves. Um, I did find a bunch of grass. Uh, that's something I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. I never get to fish grass that often. Um, I immediately thought about pulled out my deep dive app. It said, throw a creature bait. I tried to a chatterbait, over the grass too here. I tried a jig, nothing doing. I went to some seawalls on somewhat look like points, but they're really nondescript points. If I could find some rocks or gravel there, I started catching some smaller ones. Um, and then there's some laydowns here and there, but they weren't really on the laydown. So I don't know what the secret to that lake is. Have anybody here fished Lake Sarah? It's pretty cool. A little information if you go down there. Um, it's $25 for a 3-day pass. There's not a 1-day pass for $75 for a year. I went to the marina right by Pinky's. I thought I could get everything there. I couldn't. I had to go back to a gas station. Uh, in town right at the intersection of highways 32 and 33. And then I read online afterwards, there's a 24-hour place, one of the gas stations, I believe you can go to. You can look it up and Google it. So you definitely want to fill out that little sticker first. I've lost another 45 minutes or so. And then the parking lot is $5 to get in, and trail your boat and get to the boat ramp. And they had the little automatic exchanger. Luckily, the gate was broken. I get back, it says it only takes ones and fives. I got a 10, I got a 20. I put a 10 in thinking it just might take it and not give me change. Nope, it just kept spitting it back. So I videotaped it and I looked around for someone to buy. There's no one there fixing the gate here. Um, yeah, I don't know. Uh, wasn't uh, wasn't too uh, I wasn't too prepared for that one. But I finally got on the water about 8:30, and that tournament was getting out at 2 o'clock, and the pleasure boats were getting really crazy. So I only got in about 4 or 5 hours, and I kind of missed the best time. But it's a really cool lake. I got video. A lot of it will be looking at really nice houses and really nice docks, um, and some nice boats and stuff here, and some nice scenery here. Maybe I'll try and spice that up here. But it's fun to go to other lakes. I know that's what I want to do in the series. And if anyone's got any hints on that lake, I'd love to hear it. Oh, someone's trying to text me here. My live chat, I can't get to work, but watching. Oh, okay, that's cool. Um, Anybody else text? No, 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 no. I wonder if Brad is out there. We haven't had Brad on in a while. Hey, you guys got any fishing events to report this weekend here? Um, yeah, definitely thinking about summer patterns. On my lake, I got the deep dive and crankbait out. Nothing. I scanned, side scan, down scan. I had my 360 out. I got my 360 working. It was a cable. It's a special cable, even though it's interchangeable. It fits with the normal transducer cable. There's a separate Helix transducer cable for that, and you got to buy a Y cable if you want to run both here. So I played around with the 360 a bunch this weekend. It was nice to see in structure, but I really do kind of miss the live. I can see how you'd want to have both here, to really zero in on what's going on. Um, but I didn't see much out there. I saw a few bass. I did see for the first time of the season. I saw a whole bunch, not a whole bunch, but I saw it. Once or twice on Sarah, I saw on Lake Pena here, where a bunch of nice, 3, 4 inch gizzard shad out in bait balls, and I could see him in side scanning. It's, not like late summer when they're all over out in the middle, but it's definitely we're starting to see them. I saw fish busting on them a little bit, but it would be like one, and that would be it, and the shad would disappear. So, I had a top water on for the first time of year, spook, and I I had the sonar minnow on, and I caught a couple little shorties on a sonar minnow off some structure and out there, but nothing to report home on either. Um, I had the big old. I started with a 10-inch power worm, nothing. I went down to a 7-inch, nothing. That's why I went down to the shaky heads. Not a lot happening there either. Anybody get out and do any fishing this weekend here? Were you catching them? Not catching them? What you catch them on? Why not? I'm talking to you. I wonder if something's going on. Show comments on stage beta. Enable chat overlay. Chat overlay is not available in the free plan. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff they're taking away. Dustin said he couldn't get in the chat. That's interesting. Hmm. Okay. Eric, where'd you go fishing this weekend? I know you're fishing every weekend. We got Father's Day coming up next weekend. I know that's Ozarks tournament on Truman, I believe, on Saturday. Father's Day is Sunday. And I believe there's another LBL as well on Saturday. Um, I think so. Right, guys? Headed out to Truman on Wednesday. Yeah, you gonna get some practice in? Did you say, yeah, you and your wife are gonna take the long weekend, take the boat out, get some practice in? Have you been out there before? Um, I hear a lot of people like the lake. I've never been on it. I have never been on Stockton or Truman. I hear good things about both of them. Oh, the other thing here, you'll notice I got a fancy new fishing shirt. Got my logo on here. I don't know if I like this one. It's kind of like it's like a decal. It's not like printed on or inked on. It's like I don't know. And it's got the big logo on the back. And I also got a couple of big old bass angular stickers for my silver Silverado here. So a little PR for the channel. little fun snippets here. Shannon, you say you fish some other tournaments out on Table Rock. What are those tournaments? How many boats are in your tournaments? And thanks for tuning in. Yes, never finished it. Okay, looks like Brad can jump on and join. He hasn't been on in a while. Um, Let me get him going here. Gmail, Brad, send. Okay, Brad, you should have an invite here. Just small enough ones. Yeah, I feel the same way here. I'm getting my butts kicked, but it's fishing, not catching. And I can show here, like, a lot of the hammers in these divisions here aren't doing so well in either one here. Like 20, 30 boat tournaments. I know USA Bassin on Shelbyville's typically 20 boats. At Lake Sarah, I think they said they had 27 this time, biggest outing ever. Uh, I know they do it at Kincaid. Lake of Egypt's got another one. I know they do the USA Bassin all over. Jerry likes to fish them. Hey, Jerry, you out there? Jerry likes to fish them um, out in the Rivers Division and out of Barkley or Kentucky Lake here. Man, those guys were just whacking them on Kentucky Lake. I did not get a chance. I was busy watching all that stuff here, but I want to go back and watch those. Here we go. Let's welcome Brad to the stage.
How's it going, Jeff?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Tired. Been a long weekend.
Yeah, how long you went out to Dale Hollow this weekend?
Yep. Went down Friday morning and fished BFL on Saturday.
Did you get to hop in and practice with anybody, or did you just check it out from the shore on Friday?
Yeah, I just checked it out from the shore right from the boat launch.
What
It was
boat
just one of
launch was
those
it out of?
Star or something. It's right down. It's basically down the road from Sunset Marina.
Yeah, okay. I think when we did the regional, I think that might have been out of Sunset.
Yeah, we went out of Sunset 2 years ago.
Yeah, yep. Cool. So, so how'd you do?
I got fifth place on the co side.
That's awesome. So who'd you
Should have
draw?
been.
How'd your boater do?
My boater only had one, but he ended up letting it go.
He just didn't want to waste his time weighing it in.
Nah, I told him he should because it was bigger than what he thought. His one fish was probably a little over 3 pounds, and if he would have at least gone up to the scales with me, he would have got his Abu Garcia package, and he didn't do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys are already on number 4, huh?
Well, that one was for the Mountain Division. I jumped into that one because they needed co-anglers,
Yeah.
and it kind of gave me a little bit of a practice day for the regional this year if I make it, because our regional for LBL is down there in Dale Hollow.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I forgot that. Jerry said that's why he didn't want to do it. So yeah, I thought you had to fish all 4 and you got your
Nope.
package on 4. You just have to fish one and basically it's almost a break even. So what'd you get?
You have to fish in order to get it. You only have to fish the 4th tournament in each division.
Wow. Wow, that's a deal. So yeah, I think you get a spinning reel and some baits and line or something like
Yeah,
that. You got the goodie bag, the swag bag to show us?
I have it right here next to me. I got the spinning reel already on a rod, but it's just a Revo X.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, what you get is a box like this, and it just says Abu Garcia. It's a pretty good sized box.
Yeah.
And the boater side will say Revo SX, code side will say Revo X, but Revo X spinning reel comes in the box, and then you get a package of the Power Jerk Shad, baby bass color. You get that, and
Were they
then
all the same? Were all the boxes the same?
what's that?
Were all the boxes the same, the exact same baits,
Yeah,
exact same colors?
yep. The only difference between the boater box and the co box is the reel. Other than that, everything else is the same.
Yeah, they got a casting reel. We got a spinning reel, right?
Nope, both are spinning reels.
Oh, both are spinning reels. Okay.
Yep,
It was so
and
long
then
ago they sent out that email. It was like way before the season even began.
yeah, and then you get a bag of the Pro Design bottom hopper, 4 3/4 inch, basically trick worms. You get them,
Yeah.
and then you get the Berkeley Power Bait General package of 5 1/4 inch Senkos,
Yeah.
and then a Plano box.
Oh, that's that new Plano box. Have you even opened
Yep,
it up yet?
not yet, not yet.
All right.
And then
So
we,
man, you outfished your boater again, man. You're gonna be a boater soon here. So how'd you catch him?
oh, what's that?
How'd you catch him on Dale Hollow?
Shallow actually, 4 to 6 feet of water and cypress trees on
Yeah, flipping
jigs
them.
and Texas rigs. Yep,
Yep. Yep.
and
Wow.
we went to that. Me and my wife went to that showing on Wednesday up to Jet A Marine to go up and do the meet and greet with the pros, and they had door prize tickets, and you had to be present to win. And they did that at 3 o'clock. By the time it all came around, there was only like 20 people left there, so everybody got prizes. And I got 2 1-gallon Ziploc bags full of Zoom plastics. I
Oh,
actually got
awesome.
a color of brush hog and trick worm that I've never seen before. It's tilapia magic, and that's what I use down there on Dale Hollow. That's how I caught my fish, is on them.
Wow, cool. I saw that they were having the pros out in a meet and greet. And I'm like, oh man, that would be fun. So who's the pros that came out?
There's Edwin Evers, Annie Montgomery. Who else was there? Dustin Connell, Mark Daniels Jr., Drew Gill. Oh, Drew says hi, by the way, Jeff.
Like he even remembered me.
Yeah, he did. I talked to him Wednesday and yesterday. He was
Oh,
at
cool.
the final day weigh-in for the BPT.
Yeah, did
Seen
you
him
go to
up
the
there.
weigh-in? Oh,
Yeah. Yep. Our local guy got second. Jake Lawrence got second, but
yeah, Jakey was right in there. You know, he was the favorite.
Yeah, I did the math this morning of how many bass were caught each day just by going through. There was a total. This isn't all the bass in Kentucky Lake they caught. This is just the bass over a pound and a half. Pound and a half or better that they could weigh in. There was a little over 2,200 fish caught that were a pound and a half or bigger in 4 days.
Wow.
First day
Wow.
there was like 986 the first day, like 600 and something the second day, and then the third day is the top 19, and then the fourth day
Yeah.
is only the top 10. They were kind of down right there, but yeah, just over 2,200 bass were caught that were a pound and a half or better.
Man, can we ship those up to Shelbyville or Ren?
Well, I was, I was talking. I talked to Jake Lawrence last night after he weighed in, did the whole weigh-in process, and asked him if he was going to fish the BFL with us this weekend on Kentucky Lake. He goes, "No, my wife told me we're going to have to take a break and go on a vacation for once."
Yeah.
But I thanked him for sore lipping that many bass for us for this weekend.
Yeah, that's probably you think it's gonna fish tough this weekend? I think so, huh?
I think it's gonna because you figure if they weighed 22, like it's like 2,220 bass if I did the math right on it. If they weighed that many, there was probably that many or more that they didn't weigh in because they were too small. So you
Yeah.
figure roughly 5,000 bass, I'm guessing, between the time they practiced until the time the BPT was over, probably close to 5,000 bass were caught.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
But yeah, here's a fifth place finish from Dale Hollow, but it doesn't say Dale
Woo!
Hollow because
It does, it just says Mount. They
it
just are
says
generic.
no, it says Barren River because that tournament was supposed to be on the Barren River, but the Barren River is 22 feet high. So
Oh.
it got rescheduled to Dale Hollow.
Oh, okay. Wow. How
But
far of a
it was
drive
just
is that for you?
right around 4 hours. It'd have been about 3.5 if I went down through Nashville, but I don't like Nashville. I don't like the traffic, so I go over towards Bowling Green and drop south from there.
Yeah, when I did it, it's like 7.5, 8 hours from St. Louis, but yeah, I did that too. I'm like, I
Oh,
don't want to go through Nashville.
another thing you get in that Evan Garcia package, Berkeley's got a new here. Let me turn another light on.
A new
See if this
braid,
one. There
right?
we go. Yep, that's that new braided line, and it's this box here that you're going to get in Evan Garcia box is for spinning reels. So and it's eight. This here is 8-pound braid, 150 yards, but it's got the 3-pound monofilament equivalency.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
So
Wow.
it's pretty thin.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to get better glasses to even tie a leader on that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And then I went at the weigh-in yesterday. They MLF gave you like door prize tickets, and during the commercial breaks during the tournament, they were giving out door prizes. Well, I won that too. Won something on that too. I got
Oh man, you are on a
two
freaking roll.
bag of Crush City minnows.
The Mooch
Uh,
minnow, was that the Mooch minnow or the freeloader? I couldn't see. You went
yep,
too fast.
mooch minnow, and
Yep.
then a package of the cleanup craws,
Yep. I got a whole bunch of those last year on the clearance rack.
a Lucky Craft square bill, and then I've never seen this before. It is a little 25-yard, 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. I've never seen them this small before, but that
Oh
came in the
yeah, but
door
for just
prize.
leaders like the Tatsu and that, because it's so expensive, you just use it
Yeah,
for leader, not line backing. Yeah.
yep,
What kind of fluorocarbon was that? That was in a gift pack?
yeah.
Door prize?
It's Tough Line.
By who?
That's who it's from. It's Tough Line. It
Oh,
says
okay.
fluorocarbon X5. Yeah, I've never seen them coming this. It's made in Indonesia, so it's not China, so we're good.
Yeah. 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 Boy, you've been busy here, and so man, let's see. You fished last weekend. You fished
Yep,
this weekend at Kentucky Lake. Then you're at
yep.
Shelbyville.
On the
Then it's
21st.
4th of July. What's the 21st again?
That's Shelbyville.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
July 12th, we got our rescheduled tournament here in LBL on the lake. That's our LBL tournaments have just been messed up this year. The first one got canceled due to the flooding.
Yep. Yep.
So they rescheduled that for March 16th. We had one in we were supposed to have one March 15th. That got rescheduled because of tornadoes. We
Yep.
fished the one on the 16th, and then we got the one this weekend, and then another rescheduled one. So technically, the one this weekend is supposed to be our 4th.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Truman
man.
Lake,
I'm dying to
that's
get
what
back to Kentucky Lake here. Maybe when did you say the next one is? The 12th of July?
this weekend is our next one.
Oh no, I mean after that.
Oh yeah, I think it's July 12th. It's the
Hmm.
rescheduled one.
Right. I might start looking to see if I could jump in that one. Not a great time to be out on Kentucky Lake. It's probably going to be hot as Hades, but
The next couple tournaments we have on Kentucky Lake are 3 fish limit across the board for everybody. That's the same as
yeah.
it was Dale Hollow. Dale Hollow is 3 fish limit for boater and co-side.
Oh, really?
Yep, they made it a 3 fish limit.
Just because it was summertime out there and they're worried about conservation?
Yeah, I'm thinking that because a lot of the water temperature we found some back in them bays, and where we were, where I caught my fish, the water was 85 degrees. And
Wow.
it
Wow.
was clear.
Yeah.
And there are 3 to 4 foot of visibility in some of them bays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
And the grass is amazing on Dale Hollow this year.
What kind of grass they have?
It looked like milfoil, I think it was, but then they got that long, stemmy, viney grass. I don't know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, catching them shallow up there. That's cool. I saw nothing under 50 feet in day one of that regional, and then the
yeah,
second day, my guy's engine blew up, and all he could do was using trolling motor. So we just trolled, the mile around the launch
yep,
and the little bay in there and right out front a little bit. But
yeah, right there around sunset, there's a lot of good fishing.
yeah, I mean, we saw a bunch of a bass right out front when we went, just left the marina and went out to the left here, but they didn't want to bite anything. I think there were a lot of
Yeah,
release fish and still in that day or two funk, you know.
yep. I know
But
our
then we
next
went down a
LBL
little
tournament.
further and it was really shallow, and there was a lot of grass just out
Yeah,
the marina a little further on the left before that cut, and yeah, we that's where we picked some up.
yeah. Our next LBL tournament this weekend, I've got to at least bring in 1 fish to stay up there in points. I went from 74th to 37th in points right now in
I sweet,
LBL.
yeah, yeah, you're doing well. You're
And
you're top of the crew here in Illini, I think too, because
yeah, I'm sitting in
we're
11th
the
in
rest of us are
Illini.
sucking it up. Yeah.
I helped last Shelbyville tournament. I brought in the 3 fish limit.
Yep. Yep.
I'm doing good
Did you
this year
get?
and getting checks.
Yeah, you got a check at Shelbyville, didn't you?
Yep, I got one at Shelbyville. I just got one at Dale Hollow. And
Hey, you got some hardware at Dale Hollow.
oh yeah, I
That's
actually
my
had a lot
goal
of
this
fun.
year to get some hardware. Now I can't catch a fish.
Yeah, yeah. I got the boater I drew is a really nice guy. He was from just south of Cincinnati on the Kentucky side. Can't remember where the town is from, but if he's in a team tournament, he'll live scope. But if BFLs, he only uses his live scope up shallow if he's looking for brush. But he used it, but we were right there by the trees. He was trying to
Yeah.
look around in the trees, see if he can see anything. He couldn't because there's so much bait moving around. But yeah, I don't think we're in any water over 20 feet deep at any time.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Cool. Cool. Well, that's really cool. You got in a little experience here for the regional. You got some
Yep.
hardware, drew a good
Yep.
boater. You got an extra pack. You're going to get another one of those packs and another reel here
I'm getting two
in
more of
both
those
divisions.
packages. Yep, I'm
Yeah.
getting two more. I get one for the Illini and one for LBL.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. It will be LBL is your fourth one this weekend.
This weekend was supposed to be our fourth tournament of the year, but I don't know if they're going to do it this weekend or July 12th tournament.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that makes it, worth it to do the July thing. Where
That's
you
why
where are you taking off from on Saturday?
Moores. We're going out to Moores on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough too because they had the Bill Dance Big Bass Bash going on at the exact same time out of Paris.
Yep.
And that usually
Remember?
draws in 200, 250 boats, plus what we
Yep.
have for our BFL. The lake's going to be busy,
Yeah.
not counting
Yeah.
the pleasure boaters.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty wacky.
Oh, yeah. But it's probably going to fish like summertime pattern, out on the shelves, out on the ledges, Carolina rig, jigs, Demiki rigs, Nico rigs, just our normal summertime pattern on Kentucky Lake. And you can catch them
Yep.
up shallow. They're still up shallow. Because Elton Jones Sr. was fishing docks during the BPT, and he was catching some 3+ pounders on them docks.
Oh wow.
Granted,
Flipping
they're
them.
main lake dots. And then Amy Montgomery, day one, out here for the BPT on Thursday, fished at Marina all day and caught, I don't know, 60 or 70 some pounds worth of fish out of there just by circling the marina all day.
Yeah, that Thursday.
Yep, that was Thursday.
Yeah, that's the one time I tuned in the afternoon here, and I saw maybe half an hour, and they had him in on the marina. Yeah.
He's another one I met on Wednesday. He's funny. Him and Edwin Evers are hilarious.
Yeah, I can imagine. Andy, you just know is he's
Oh,
the guy
yeah.
that be pulling pranks on you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And then Edwin Evers, I had a friend tell me he's the guy that when it was the FLW tour, they actually went to Lake Shelbyville, and he goes, "Is there
Yep.
any bass in this lake?"
Yeah. Well, that's what they were saying about Kentucky Lake. A lot of them struggled to find
Yeah,
anything really good.
yeah,
I don't think there was a fish weighed in over 5 pounds.
really,
If it was just over 5 pounds. But last time I knew, I think the biggest one was like 415. It was the smallmouth.
yeah, yeah. I saw a highlight reel, and I saw, or maybe it was a little thing on Facebook or something, but a couple of buys, and they were two really big smallmouth on a little
Yeah.
reel clip
Yep.
out on the ledges
Yep.
with their sonar minnows.
Oh, yeah. But when you're fishing lakes like Kentucky Lake and Dale Hollow, you've got to expect to have a boater that's, if you're a you got to expect to do that. So you got to plan ahead. Like I tell
Yeah,
everybody, I learned a couple years ago, if you're out on them ledges and they're Demiki rigging, tie a Demiki rig on for yourself. Watch how they're casting. Figure out easy way to figure out how the fish are in that area is keep an eye on your boater, and as his Demiki hits the water, count down how many seconds it takes until
yep,
he stops it and starts jigging it. Do the same thing around the boat. I've
yep,
caught him right under the boat before doing that.
yeah. Or if you can have side scan out, I'm like
Yeah.
that's our a map and side scan. Side scan is I think key for a co-angler.
Yep.
And keep your eyes open for anything busting on the water, head on the
Yep.
swivel, right?
Absolutely.
And then sometimes, Alan was like, well, if you're not ridiculously deep, okay. If if those guys are a lot of time, if they're on structure, it's usually the only structure around, but sometimes you can see some more
Yep.
in the side scan or whatever. But if they're not ridiculously deep and they're throwing for the suspended fish, well, go on the top or go on the bottom. Do something different too, right?
Most of the ledges we're fishing here on Kentucky Lake are 20, 25 feet at the most. You're
Yeah,
not
you can
you're
get
not
down
out
there
there
no
on the
problem.
main channel. I mean, you can
Right.
throw a Carolina rig. Like I've been down here. This will be my 5th year fishing here in Kentucky, living in Kentucky and fishing the BFLs down here. I think the deepest I've been in when my boater was live scoping and Jamaica rigging was 18 feet, and he'd be casting up like 20, 25. But in that 18 feet, you can still throw a Carolina rig or a 1 ounce jig or a 3/4 ounce jig. There's water everywhere there. It's not
Yep.
like what they're casting at is the only fish in the area. There's
Yeah.
stumps out there. There's big rock piles. There's ledges. There's smaller drop offs, creek channels, old road beds.
Yep.
It, it,
Yep.
it just, don't get me wrong. It gets frustrating being with somebody with live scope, but I've learned to deal with it. I've
You
done
have to.
pretty good. I have my good
Yep.
tournaments and my bad tournaments. It just depends on the draw.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of luck and a little bit of just,
Yeah.
where your boater happens to pick to go. You never know.
How how is Truman Lake fishing this year? I see he said he's heading out to Truman on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the Ozarks has got a BFL on Saturday.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's see here. So, uh, I should have remembered. I just looked at it for the LBL. This will be the fourth tournament, correct? Right? You'll
It,
get your box again,
I think it's supposed to be the 4th by schedule,
but it
but
is only the third.
it's only our 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. That's right. Um, so wow, yeah, you're behind. So Shelbyville will be the third in Illini,
Yep.
and Truman, I think, will be the fourth in Ozarks, won't it, Eric? So you'll get your box this weekend.
Like I was telling all the boaters and co-anglers down in Dale Hollow, if you don't like Avos Garcia, you don't use it, I'll send you my address. You're more than welcome to mail it to me. I'll pay for the shipping and handling.
Yeah. I mean, what's it, the list price, $99 reel, something like that?
The Revo X is like $119, I think, and the Revo SX is like $180 reel.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
The coingler package is worth, I think, 160, and the boater side is like 240. Is the
Yeah.
value of everything.
It's basically like fishing for free in a way. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily buy that stuff, but yeah, I had two Revo SX bait casters, Rev 3s. I used for 10 years, and
Yeah.
I just sent them to get clean this year, and they're like, oh, the anti-reverse mechanism is going on both of them, and sorry, Revo says that's a $75 part. Might as well just buy a
Right
new one.
there's
Yep,
that's my
I
Revo
lo-
SX. It's
I
my jig
love them.
rod. The only thing I throw on this is my jigs.
A jig. Uh-huh. Yep,
Yep.
exactly. They're really good jig rods. They just fit your hand right, and it's
And
just
then this is another good one. That's the Revo STX.
I've
This one
seen
I
those. I've
throw
never had one.
crankbaits and rattle traps on this one, and they cast like a dream. They're quiet, and it's a 8 to 1 gear ratio on that one.
So what does the T mean in STX?
I'm not sure. Actually, let me tell you, I got the box right here. I keep all my boxes for all my reels because during the wintertime, I take all my reels off my rods, lube them up, and put them in their original boxes. And then I wipe the rods down with alcohol wipes, and I wipe them down with just water after that. Um, yeah, I got a good deal on this. So in the Revo STX, I still have the original price tag on it, $169.99 for the STX.
Yeah, yeah.
No, sure. I
Okay.
main reason why I bought it is every time I reel, like turn the reel one time, it's 33 inches of line I'm reeling in.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple of 8-to-1s. I put them on the flipping sticks.
Yep.
If you want to really, yeah, sometimes if you want to really rip a small crankbait, but not the large crankbaits, man, you gotta gear down for those deep divers, so you'll
Oh
kill
yeah,
yourself.
six, 6 4 to 1 stuff like that. Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't like throwing those deep divers. You're better off going musky fishing. Your arms get tired just as fast musky fishing as those deep divers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I finally, last couple years out on some of the points on my lakes here, started to actually catch a few on Shelbyville. I never was able to until the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
um, it's and it's a better quality fish. If you catch one with a big crankbait out on, deeper,
Yep.
it's a better fish.
Yep.
It's like going to a full size jig. Yeah, you can catch some small ones. Yeah, you'll get a few less bites, but they're going to be better bites.
See, Shelbyville, I don't normally throw a moving bait. I usually throw Texas rig, Carolina rig, jig, shaky head. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times, if I throw that kind of stuff, I don't catch a muskie. I, I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just in my head can't justify throwing a $6 to $10 bait and losing it to a muskie when
yeah,
I could
yeah, I
throw
know.
a $2 jig, and if I lose that, oh well, I got a couple hundred more of them.
You're right. Right. Yeah, man, the muskie, we were talking about that the other week. They're just getting out of control there. I wonder if James is on. James, you on? And I don't know what's going on with that. They were really killing them below the dam, but that's because Cascade River, and
Yeah,
they're really known for them.
I caught one there last time we were up there in Shelbyville. I go up 2 days early. That way, if my link wants to practice, I'm there to practice with him or whatever and help out with gas. And then I take my musky stuff up with me and sit there below the dam and just try to fish for him. I
Yep.
sat down there Thursday for about 4.5 hours before our last Shelbyville tournament. Nothing on the musky rod. But I look out there and see the white bass blowing up. I'm like, catch me a white bass. So I lobbed it. Quarter-ounce rattle trap out there on an 8-pound fluorocarbon and caught a 35-inch muskie.
Wow, and you got it in it. It
Yep.
didn't break the line. Wow, their teeth,
Nope.
man, they just chew right through it usually.
It was absolutely gorgeous tiger muskie. If there had been
Yeah,
anybody else around me, I would have gotten a picture taken, but I'm not going to try taking a selfie with a fish that has those big teeth like that near my head.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I, I got sporked by one a few years ago. Big
Yep.
old top water. He had it T-boned, and even though I had my knee on him, I had needle nose pliers. Their slime is so slippery and they're so
Yep.
strong. He still flopped, and the treble hook went right in the side of my finger and fingernail. Oh man, I was
Yep.
holding it for 20 minutes. It was still bleeding. I needed the super glue, and I forgot to put the super glue, that new skin stuff, in the first aid
Yep.
bag to glue your finger back together.
Oh, yeah.
Or they make those draw spreader things too here, and I used to have some of those, but they're cheap ones and they got rusty, and I threw them out. You know those things?
I usually just grab them right by the tail. If you can get them up and they're relaxed, if you don't have a net, you can bring them up, just wrap your hand right around the front of their tail, and then you can put your hand underneath their belly, and then you can gill them. I don't like gilling them, putting my hand in their gill when they're flopping around. I don't like killing them. They're a pretty
Yeah,
fish. They got a purpose.
yeah. Oh yeah, they're apex predator fish.
If
Yeah,
I'm not willing to eat it, I'm not going to kill it.
right. Me too. Me too. All right, here. Let's see here. You guys got any questions for Brad?
I actually forgot about your live stream. I had my phone in charging, and I didn't realize it was already past 7:30. And I went in to grab it, and I seen you sent me a message saying if I want to jump on. I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you're able to. I was trying to get some new people in, and I just kind of missing on schedules and stuff. And I was saying that to
Yeah.
begin with. Now that it's June, it's graduation, it's travel time, it's summer vacation. I mean, all kind of other activities are in the way here. And in
That
fact, we
and
saw
Father's
Levi
Day is coming up too.
and Father's Day. Yeah, I wanted to hop in that Truman one or the LBL one, but I'm not going to be able to do that. But that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, Brad. Thanks for gracious for jumping in at the last minute here. Definitely will
Welcome.
have a Shelbyville pre-show next week. I'm not sure who I'm going to get. I think James is trying to talk to one of the Odell brothers, and he brought up someone else too. I'll have to be a little bit more proactive.
Oh, you
This week
thinking about
just got
Pat?
behind me. Pardon?
Were you thinking about Pat?
He knows Pat and Wayne,
Yeah.
the brothers,
Yep.
and
They're
in
both good
fact,
guys.
yeah, I talked to him a couple of times, just in weigh-ins and stuff here. And I know one of them, I think Patrick, he's like a boat captain for like high school bass fishing, so he was probably in
Yep.
at Shelbyville. They just had the ISHA tournament here and brought in a 6 pound 2 ouncer here, and
Nice.
yeah, they had it. They had Dam 9 closed down to regular traffic Friday and Saturday. But anyways, yeah, we'll take a look at that. Have a little bit of a Shelbyville preview. Anything you guys want to see or talk about, just drop me a note or something here, and we'll see what we can do. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Brad. Keep your
You're
lines
welcome.
tight. See you next week.
Have a good one,
And
guys.
congratulations.
Thank you, sir.